Welcome back to continuing coverage of Bearcats football here on GoBearcats.com. Tom Gelehrter happy today to chat with head football coach Tommy Tuberville as spring football now a little bit over a week in the books. Coach, you've had time to go through the film, look at your practices, look at your spring game. What are your overall thoughts on your 15 days of work?
Well, just looking back on it, I'd say, hey, we made as much progress in a spring than I've ever been around. I've been in a lot of spring practices, but we needed to. We got a lot of young guys that redshirted last year we didn't know a lot about. We changed positions on a few. We lost some seniors in some critical situations, some areas that we needed to find not just starters but also backups. And the inevitable quarterback controversy. Brandon Kay is gone. Now we've got 3 or 4 quarterbacks that will fight it out for the starting position. They started the competition in spring. Now they'll go through the summer workouts, and then we'll get back to it in 2 days. But you have Munchie Legault, who I think has a real good chance of getting back and helping this football team. And we didn't think that 4 or 5 months ago after that terrible injury. And then you have Gunnar Kiel, who transferred from Notre Dame, who has worked very hard and I thought had a very good spring. You had Jared Evans, a junior college transfer from Santa Barbara Junior College that came in January, knows nothing about what we're doing, but I thought he made tremendous progress, a very different quarterback than Gunnar Kiel. He's a lot more like Munchie in terms that he can throw and run. And I think it really went well with those quarterbacks. And those guys will really be the ones that will compete for the starting position. We had a young quarterback transfer in from high school from Alabama that got some snaps that did very well. But
he's got a long future ahead of him, too.
Yeah, he's got a long future, but he's really not in the mix. He'll work and go through spring and have an opportunity to continue to learn the offense, which is what you need to do when you're a young guy coming on campus for the first time.
Coach, Gunnar Kiel impressed a lot of people at the spring game at Paul Brown Stadium, 300 yards. Does he have that slight edge going into the summer workouts?
Yeah, if we played today, Gunnar would be our starting quarterback because he's so far along mentally with this offense. He's been running the offense for now 10 months and got a lot of practice. He's actually went through his second spring practice. His first spring practice was a bowl practice when Brandon Kay couldn't practice. So he got all the snaps basically with the ones for about a week and a half. And so he's so far ahead of everybody else mentally with what we're doing. He's got the edge, but he's also got the talent. Now, he's not hitting on all 8 cylinders, I'd say. I would say he's probably hitting on 4 or 5 cylinders in terms of what he really can do. But 17 out of 22 in the first half for 300 yards in our spring game, that was a good way to cap it off. He's got the intangibles of being hungry to play quarterback. He understands how to compete, and I think he has a great presence around the offensive players, and that's what quarterbacks have to have. Everybody's got to be able to look at Gunnar Kiel or Munchie Legault or Brandon Kay and say, man, we believe this guy can get it done. And I think all our quarterbacks have that savvy with our offense, but right now I think there's no doubt that Gunnar really has the edge mentally and physically over everybody we have, but that could change in the next 3 or 4 months.
Whether it's Gunnar or somebody else at quarterback, plenty of targets at wide receiver, but do you need someone to step up and be that #1 running back to complement it?
Yeah, we've got a lot of question marks at all positions. Running back is one since we've been here. We've added Rod Moore. We put him at corner some. We've moved him back, a junior college player. We brought Jose Williams in. He had an average, I would say, season as his first year here as a junior college player, but he really picked up where he left off in the season and got much better in our camp in spring practice. And then, of course, Tion Green. Tion it's kind of a mystery for me. He looks the part. He's got the build. He's got the desire to get it done. He's got the speed, quickness. We just can't get him over the hump of being consistent, that every down back. He'll miss his assignment, and he can catch, he can run, but when you make mistakes mentally at any position on offense, then you're going to have trouble getting on the field for me because I'm a believer of, hey, you can take an average guy that knows what to do and gets it done will be much more productive than a guy that has more talent. So we've got a lot of prospects at running back, and I think there's going to be another battle, once we get to 2-a-days on who's going to get that first start at running back in the fall.
On the other side of the football, and you look at linebacker, is that your strongest position group on the defense?
On the defense, I'd probably say with Jeff Luck being a senior in the middle, and some other guys, Nick Temple at outside linebackers, got a lot of experience. Probably so. The least experience is probably going to be in the secondary again, which we were last year. We've got to have a little bit more depth there. We've got some guys coming in. We've got Howard Wilder that stepped up at corner in the spring practice, missed a few practices because of an ankle injury. Zach Edwards, a safety, and Mike Tyson, two really high school freshmen last year that played a lot. Zach made first team, I think, freshman team in the conference. That doesn't mean a lot. That means he played a lot.
Right.
But he's got both the safeties have a lot of room for improvement. They're not ready for college football yet, but they got to play because that's where we're at. But we've got to juggle some things around at corner. We've got to work hard there. Our linebackers are going to be pretty steady, as you said. Defensive line is where you make or break a football team. And Robert Prunty's taken over all four positions, the two ends and the two tackle positions. I thought did a very good job in our spring practice in terms of work ethic with all the guys. And he's probably, as we speak, got 8 to 10 guys that can play college football. But can they play consistent and be productive? We'll wait and see.
Well, certainly one of the questions for the Bearcats. That's part one of my spring recap with Tommy Tuberville. Stay tuned later this week for part number 2 with the Bearcats head coach right here on Bearcats TV.